Greetings, beloved light warriors. It's Saratoga, and this is your weekly focus card reading for the week beginning November 23rd through November 29th, 2020. If you are a new subscriber, you should know that this is something I do every Sunday so that we can reset our energy and our focus for the coming week ahead. Okay, now before I begin, I just real quick want to tell you guys that next month I will be launching a brand new online course, Work with the Angels to Create an Amazing Life. Right now I have a wait list. I'll put the link in the description below, and if you're on the wait list and you choose to enter the course, you will be given a very special discount that no one else will get. So make sure, if that interests you, to click that link and get on that wait list. Okay, so let's begin with this week's reading. So this card says Dolomite, and Dolomite is a stone. It says at the bottom, stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. So this is a really interesting card for this particular time, because we are at such a critical juncture right now in our world, where there are like two timelines trying to emerge. One is a very negative, sort of downward spiral kind of timeline, and the other one is a magnificently beautiful, optimistic and inspiring timeline at a much higher level of reality. Now we play a role in how these timelines play out and where we as a humanity end up in relationship to these potential timelines. So this is what we call the Ascension timeline split, right? So stay strong in your faith. I'm going to focus mostly on the words on this particular card rather than just on the image, because I think the words are the most important part. So stay strong in your faith. Faith in what? Faith in your truth. Faith in what you know in your heart to be the truth. Guys, we have been so trained to underestimate the power of our hearts. We have been conditioned from birth through our entire journey through this society to never listen to our hearts, to, in many cases, not even know we have a heart. There are a lot of people who actually don't even know they have a heart. They don't even know what that means. And that's not anyone's fault. It's because of how we are conditioned from birth. So connecting to your heart and being powerful in that center and having faith. Why would you have faith? Well, you have faith because you know it's true, right? Having faith in that center of who you really are is sometimes a challenge. I do want to reference for a moment the beautiful light. This is actually the image of an angel. You can see her wings in the background a little bit. But there is a brilliant light at the third eye. So that, to me, indicates seeing the truth of who you really are. When you see the truth of who you really are, you can't help but have faith in that reality, because everything else pales by comparison. The more you connect with that truth of who you really are, the more, well, let's say the physical reality starts to seem much more dim, much more etheric, because you, as the cosmic being, and in case of many of you who are following me, you're light warriors, right? You are so incredibly powerful, and it's just our minds that tend not to believe it. So our minds cause us to shut down on that power, really because we don't believe it, because we're so geared to looking on the outside for evidence of whatever we hold on the inside, which is completely backwards. It's the reason we have such a hard time sometimes understanding our own ascension, because we're always looking outside of ourselves. As a collective, we tend to do this. We're always looking outside of ourselves for evidence of what reality is. But see, the thing is, well, let me just go back to the words underneath that main heading, stay strong in your faith. It says underneath, a positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. Now, this, of course, is sort of an overly, overly simplified way of looking at it. It sounds a little bit of like a finite statement, But let's just look at this sentence as an indicator of something instead of taking it just as it is, because I think there's so much more that we need to understand that could be the message behind this sentence holds within it so much more that we need to understand. So what does it really mean, a positive outcome, depending on you keeping a positive mindset? What it means is essentially how you see it. And we go back again to that light at the third eye. How you see it is going to determine the outcome. So what we want to be thinking about this week is we want to be thinking about the outcome on two levels, on a global level, but also on an individual personal level. And I always recommend that you start by centering yourself in your personal life and really start to gain some degree of mastery over your ability to create your personal life in the way that you design it, in the way that you desire it to look, because from there, it's a natural outgrowth to be thinking about the whole planet as well. Because you see, that truth that lives inside of you, that's in your heart, that your heart is the gateway to knowledge of that truth illuminates the potential reality that we are all really going toward in our ascension process. So even though it says a positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset, I would say more a positive outcome is always created when you are centered in the truth of who you are at the highest level from a place of love. A positive outcome is always created when you intend a positive outcome from the place where you are most empowered. A lot of times we try to intend a positive outcome out of fear, like we're very fearful, we're very frightened, we're very anxious, and we try from that energy to produce a positive outcome. But that's nearly impossible because the energy of fear and anxiety is extremely fragmented. It even fragments our thoughts, right? I mean, we get like all scatterbrained in a way. We get like anxious, and sometimes I think maybe anxiety being so connected to fear is really related to the fact that fear does break apart our thought processes. It creates confusion, and the anxiety is the feeling of, I don't have my bearings, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what to believe, I don't know what's going to happen, oh no, this doesn't feel right. And sometimes that's just because fear has just broken up the harmonious integration of our emotions and our thoughts and our physical body. So that's why we don't want to pay any attention to all these fear-based messages that we're being bombarded with, because that's the effect it's going to have. It's going to break apart our ability to think straight. It's going to make us very reactive. Now let me bring up the subject of Dolomite, which is a stone. I do not have any Dolomite, or I would have put a piece here. This stone that I have here, you guys, I've had this stone before in these readings, and if you saw one of my previous ones way back when I had this stone, I don't know what it's called. It's a very unusual stone. I got it a long time ago, and I cannot remember the name of the stone. Now I know you guys will try to help me out. Some people last time I had it thought it was kunzite. It's actually not kunzite. I know it might look like that on video, but if you could see it in person, you would see that it's not. It's a pale pink stone. It's very, it's like diffused. It doesn't have the striations of kunzite. That's one way you know it's not kunzite. But I put it here because it just has, it's a really interesting stone, the energy of it. It appears to have a very soft, calming vibration, which is what Dolomite has. But this stone has a soft, calming vibration, yet at the same time, it feels to me when I hold it like it has a power of breaking apart density. Okay, and that's what we really need, right, to connect with who we really are. Now, I'm thinking the reason that the stone Dolomite is represented on this card is because Dolomite is really, excuse me, known for helping you to feel calm, helping you to feel centered, helping you to feel balanced. It's very good for resetting your emotions. And I think that's so important emotionally that we are balanced and calm, because when you're balanced and calm emotionally, that means that your whole system is in balance, is in harmony, is in a certain state of equilibrium. When we become reactive, emotionally reactive, that's when we're kind of like flailing around. We don't really know what we're doing. We might be lashing out. There's all kinds of junk that could be happening, and that creates like, you know that old saying, the fog of war? It's kind of like a fog. We end up in a fog. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of lashing out and grabbing at straws and hoping for this, and you know how it goes, right, guys? So we want to, if you want to have that positive high vibrational energy, that positive high vibrational sense of self. Again, I have to be careful not to go on for like 2 hours, because I really could go on for easily 2 hours, you guys, but that'll make the video too long. So let me see if I can keep this as concise as possible. When you are, you don't want to find yourself in an emotionally reactive state. You want to do whatever you can do to be in a state of calm, because when you are in a state of calm, you also have a clear mind. And when you have a clear mind, your mind is not so much going to be overly reactive and interfering with your ability to connect with your heart. So there's an alignment that happens when you connect with that heart, that inner gateway to the infinite universe, and you have a calm mind. You know what you experience right away? You experience strength. You experience strength, power, wisdom, and clarity. Your vibration automatically goes up, and you can have faith in the truth of who you are, which means you have the power to create a positive outcome. So just to bring this all to a close, what I want to suggest is that just kind of be with these ideas over the course of this week. See if you can get yourself centered, calm, quiet your emotions, connect with your heart, and envision the life that you want to have. Don't let the media influence your joy. Don't let the media influence your desire for the outcome that you want. Because see, a lot of times when we get thrown into a state of despair and discouragement, we tend to abandon belief in ourselves. We abandon belief in our dreams. We abandon belief in our ability to create. That's what they want us to do, guys. So we don't want to do that. We want to cut that off, cut off access of all that negative input. Just cut off access from that negative input, because that negative input has nothing to do with the truth of who you are. It has nothing to do with the truth of how this universe was actually originally designed to be a place of light, love, power, and beauty, and harmony, and all those good things that we always talk about, right? So if you cut off that access, then you have a certain amount of freedom. Then you can just be with yourself. You can feel whole again. And from there, you can start to take command of your consciousness and command of what it is you're going to create. That's how you move. That's how you begin to move to a higher timeline. Okay? So, and from there, because the creation of your life happens within the environment of the world around you, you will naturally, simultaneously be envisioning a beautiful world for the rest of humanity. Okay, so I think that's it for this week, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it out. And I'm sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful, centered, empowered, and inspiring week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Namaste, everyone.